Hello, YouTube. This is Mr. Bakari, and today we are going to write the standard form of an ellipse by completing the square. Okay, so typically you're given a general form and you're asked to write the standard form, so we're going to go through that process right now. The first thing I want to talk about here, though, is how do you know what conic section you're looking at from this general form that you're given? So we can eliminate a parabola right off the bat because both of our x and y variables are squared. So that would eliminate the parabola, but that leaves circles, ellipse, and hyperbolas. So over here, I've got a little chart for you that basically outlines how you know which one you're looking at. So if it's a circle, your squared coefficients are going to be the same. Okay. And they are going to have the same sign. Okay. Both going to be positive or both negative. Okay. And if it's an ellipse, the coefficients are going to be different of your x and y squared terms, and the sign will be the same. And if it's a hyperbola, they're going to be opposite signs of each other. That is your x squared and your y squared term. So based on that information, we can look at this and we can see that this is going to be an ellipse because the signs are the same of my x squared and my y squared, and the coefficients are different. Okay? Now that we know it's going to be an ellipse, let's bring in our elliptical equation in standard form so we can see what it is we're trying to achieve here. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to get our x term plus our y term equal to 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to order all of my x terms and followed by my y terms. And I'm going to move any constant to the other side of the equation. Okay? Now, I can see that I'm going to have to complete the square. So in order to complete the square, I need to factor out my leading coefficient of x and y. So that would be the next step. So here I'm going to factor out the 4, and that leaves me with x squared minus 4x. Always double check your work there. Do the multiplication right. And then I'm going to save some room here to complete the square. And then I'm going to go to my y terms and factor out the 9. And that leaves me with y squared plus 4y. Save some room and 92 on the other side. Okay? Double check your work before you move on. Okay? Always want to make sure you got the math right there. And now we're ready to complete the square. So for this, we're going to take b, our coefficient b, for each x squared and y squared, and we're going to half it and square it. So let's go ahead and do that. So negative 4, if I half it, negative 2 squared is positive 4. And positive 4, half it is 2. 2 squared is positive 4. Okay? So it appears that we added 8, but we have to remember that we factored out our leading coefficient to start. So in reality, we added 4 times 4, which is 16, and 4 times 9, which is 36, okay? Because everything in parentheses here gets multiplied by 4. So I added 16 and 36, okay? So that's 52. So what I've got to do is balance the equation, and so I'm going to add 52 on the other side, just like that, okay? All right, now let's see what we got here. Carry down 4. I'm going to factor my perfect square trinomial here that I just made. Carry down the 9. factor this perfect square and add my constants on the other side. 92 and 52 is 144. So as you can see, this is starting to look like the standard form of our ellipse here. Okay. Now, I don't need 144 over here. I need a 1. So how do I do that? I'm going to divide by 144. All right, so let's divide everything by 144, and that will give us 1 on the right side of our equation. Okay, so now we've got x minus 2 squared, and then 4 over 144. 4 goes into 144 36 times, so this is 1/36. Okay, and then we've got y plus 2 squared. And then 9 over 144. 9 goes into 144 16 times, so our coefficient is 1 over 16. And then, of course, 144 over 144 is 1. Now you can see that we are in standard form. Okay? And if we want to go ahead and mention it, we can look at the bottom here and see that a squared is with our x term, so this is going to be a horizontal ellipse. All right? So that's the process. I hope this helps you out, and I will see you in the next video.